Good morning, lampshades and germicides. I'm going to go ahead and catch footage of the quench and the maker's mark punch on the kiridashi I am making for my nephew Taylor's 9th birthday. Now, if y'all would do me a favor, in the comments, wish Taylor a happy birthday so he can be surprised by it when he watches this later. But Taylor, this is when the blade's born, is when you do the heat treatment. This is going to get heated up 3 times and left to cool down to thermal cycle and improve the grain. And I'm going to leave them in the forge to cool down a little slower. Now, that being said, that forge cools down pretty fast, so it's not going to be the lengthiest cool down in the world. I may end up doing 4 of those, but I'll record the stamps. I'm also going to put his initials on this one. So I'll record the stamping on this and everything else. And it's a real quick video. And I think I'm going to add something new at the end. We'll try this out and see how it works. But I'll let that surprise you when it gets here. I was going to say something else and I totally forgot what it was. That's okay. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. Oh yeah, its dimensions. It's about 3.5 inches long by a hair under 1 inch wide. It fits in my hand comfortably enough that I could use this on a daily basis, but for a 9-year-old, this should be a good size. And this is that cable Damascus / 15 and 20 Damascus that I am now calling Curiosity Damascus. So I'm going to light the forge, chuck this bad boy in here, and I'll be back. Okay, we're about to hit step 1 of my heat treatment process. I've got a chunk of rebar in there, and I bent the end over to put a little extra mass on it. I dropped that in the canola oil first to heat it up. That way I don't dunk it cold oil and shock the blade too much. I know some of y'all have seen this, but for those of y'all who haven't seen the way I do things and the way a lot of people do this, this is a really handy trick. You can kind of see how I got that looped over. Drop that in the oil and it boils up, and that gets it hot so that I've got a good quench oil, or a good quench. And there's the blade going in there for its first heat, and I'll be back once it's glowing. Okay, we're getting pretty close here, and first things first, I've got my touch mark here. And for those of y'all that don't have a touch mark yet and want to know where to get one made, this was made by Buckeye Engraving. Just look him up on Google, email the guy. I think his name's Adam, but they will take good care of you. They nailed this one perfect. Are glowing. That's the touch mark. That's the man's initials and the tip of my thumb. Ouch! Now from here I'm going to get it red hot, turn the forge off, let it cool down to a nice cool black. Forge back on, get it hot, pull it down. I'm going to do that 3 or 4 times. What that's going to do is it's going to tighten the grain structure. It's going to look like it'll go from black and silver sugar crystals down to what looks like when you break sheetrock in half, only silver. Maybe a little finer than that, and that's what you want. So thermal cycling is happening right now, and I'll come back when it's time to go in the bucket of oil. Alright, I'm fixing to fire the forge back up, get this thing glowing, and get it quenched. Let's do this. And contact. I'm glad that worked on the first try. Now what'll happen is it'll start getting red, and I'm gonna just pass it back and forth and keep it hot for about 30 seconds to a minute, and keep moving it to keep the temperature where it's not gonna burn one of the tips up. So that's the next job. And coming in from the side like this, Kilroy was here. Ha! That made me laugh. Alright, just starting to get a little bit of red. And I can't answer that call right now, unfortunately. I'll shoot him a text message. So we're just starting to glow now. We're not magnetic, but I want to get it glowing a little brighter. Okay, so that passed the magnet test. Non-magnetic for quite a while. Will she skate a mile? Yep, file's not biting in at all. I believe that right there is a quenched blade. Alright, so I'm just going to knock the scale off of this, and then it's going to be time for it to go in the tempering oven. So, yeah, I'll be back in a little while with the other part of this, so y'all sit tight, because I know it's going to feel like forever for y'all. Okay, so for the extra thing that I'm going to try to start doing is I'm going to start showing and discussing different interesting knives that I found. And this one right here, the first one I'm going to do, is one of the most interesting I've seen in a long time. And this is a CRKT, and it's known as the Dactyl, D-A-K-T-Y-L. And this thing is this right here, okay? And this one's a lot of fun to hand to people and let them figure out how in the world to open it, because it's got an exotic open and lock system. So for this, you just pull the lock back, press down, and there you go. And if I remember right, and I may be off, but the steel used for this one is not the world's greatest on edge retention, but it's quite durable. So pushing it through a bunch of cardboard and things like that is going to wind up requiring a little more sharpening with a harder blade. But I'm used to seeing knives that have this kind of exotic system on them for, you know, in the $60 to $80 range starting. No, this one is $36.25 on Amazon right now. And I've been carrying it for a while. I haven't had many reasons to use it a whole lot, but this isn't necessarily as much of an EDC user as it is a fidget toy for adults. And it is possible to open and close one-handed with a little bit of practice, and that's with my offhand. So I just thought this was interesting. I'd like to show it off. There it is open, and you know, that is a CRKT dactyl. I'm not going to post any links because this isn't sponsored or anything. I'm just going to be showing interesting knives off as they come in. And I also have some other interesting knives from a long time ago in my collection that I can share too. So I'd like to start throwing these in and mixing things up a little bit. And hopefully pull some companies that send stuff to review. That way I can get exposed to stuff I wouldn't necessarily buy myself, and get a chance to try those out. But as I carry this, if I come across something really flawed with it that makes it not worth having, I'll definitely let you know. Yeah, so that's the CRKT dactyl. And back to the other subject at hand. Let me grab it real quick. Taylor's kiridashi has been tempered, and it's ready to go through the final polishing and an etch. So that'll be done and ready shortly. I'll probably get that tonight or early tomorrow morning. Like I said earlier, if you would go to the comments, wish Taylor a happy 9th birthday. Happy birthday, buddy. That's it for this video, so I will see you guys later. Until next time, praise the forge and pass the borax. Y'all please stay safe in your shops. All right.